Hey gang, when I showed you how to put a sign together, I got somebody who said, would you please make a video about putting 3D text onto a sign and making a sign for your store? Let's go take a look. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to our friend Sketchup. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So I'm pretty happy with how my model's coming together. I put a second story onto it. As you can see, I've made a couple of tags here where I can control things like the ceilings and the left wall so I can get in here and work on it. And I've put some lights in here, which I will show you very soon how to use lights. And I think you're going to be kind of knocked out by what that looks like. But what I want to show you here primarily is how do you make a sign. So I'm going to build one out here, out on the ground, just because that's the easiest place to work. It's easy in SketchUp. It doesn't stick to your model. You're not stuck with it. You can make a group then out of it, and then you can put it anywhere you want. So when you start with a circle template, a circle tool, maybe, I mean, you could make a rectangular sign. You can make a sign that's in the shape of a surfboard. You can make whatever you want. So I'm not selling this very hard. I'm just showing you how you might go about doing it. I'm going to grab that, double click, triple click on it to make sure you got the whole thing. And then I've got my scale tool, and I'm going to squash that down until I make kind of an ellipse out of it. What's the difference between an ellipse and an oval? Sometimes people say that, and I think, what? Okay, so what we're going to do then is I'd kind of like to make a little bit of an outer ring on this thing. I'm going to use my offset tool, F for offset, click there and give myself a little bit of a border, and then what I can do is push pull that up, maybe 3 inches or something like that. I could even do something like grab this shape, scale this, and option to scale from the center and create kind of a dished in shape like that. So it's, you can have some fun with this stuff. So I'd encourage you to experiment and explore with the tools that are in here. But let's say we're gonna be kind of happy with more or less what's going on right there. Now what I want to do is grab my 3D text tool. I haven't colored this thing or fooled around with that yet. Materials, you know how to do all that though. This is where this tool lives right here, the 3D text, right? It's kind of, under the tape and the protractor and things like that down in here. There's your dimensions tool. There's a little note flag that you could put a note into your drawing to say, don't forget this. And now what I need to do is choose what I'm going to call my store, Kawabunga. And what I want to do is choose the typeface. It right now is setting it in Rage Italic, 10 inches tall. So I can click my fonts menu here and say, I think I'd rather do something like, gosh, Rockwell's pretty cool typeface. It's kind of it's mostly a slab serif face with a little bit of flavor to it. Ruach is a great typeface. It means breath in Hebrew. So you can have a lot of fun exploring possibilities in here. Serpentine gets used a lot. We talked about Serpentine before. Skia, maybe I'll use Solex. Solex is a pretty terrific typeface, and I've got lots and lots of choices with this one. So maybe Cowabunga Bold Italic would be pretty great. 10 inches tall. I'm more or less happy with that. It's going to be a 3-inch tall extrusion right there. I could change that right there. And it's going to be filled, which means that it's going to be a solid thing. And then I just hit the place tool right there, and it gives me what I just asked for on my cursor. And it presumes that I want to put it onto a surface. So it clicks there. Now that's the 10 inches wide, 3-inch tall version of it, right? But I just hit my scale button, and then I can scale that up until it does what I want it to do, which is to say kind of hang out on either end of this thing. And then maybe I will even want to rotate that. I'm going to use my rotate tool, Q for rotate, hit the up arrow to insist on the blue axis, click there once, and then rotate that in until I'm kind of happy with that. So then once I've got that whole thing built, and as you know, I would go back and color this and make it, fancy. But for this purposes, I'm just showing you how to do it. So I'm just going to grab the whole darn thing, selection tool, grab the whole darn thing, make me a group. So now I've got one thing that's a group. I can come in here with my rotate tool again, Q for rotate, tap my left arrow, sorry, my right arrow key, because I want to rotate on the red axis. Let me just show you where we are. I want to rotate this thing so that it's vertical. So I'm going to grab my Q, right arrow key to insist on the red axis. Click once there, pull out, click there, and then rotate that thing up so it's vertical now. And then I'm going to move that into place. Move tool, grab that. Don't grab those red crosses. They will drive you bonkers. Stay on one axis at a time. I'm going to move this on the red axis. You can see it's having a hard time because it wants to snap to all those little lines that are in there. I think I got a spot there where I can stay on the red axis. Red axis, there we go. And then up on the blue axis, and then on the green axis, I want to move it out. Right now, you can see I put it inside my building, and I can't see it very well. So I think what I might do is go to Face Style X-Ray, and now I can see it inside there, and I can grab that and pull on it on the green axis until it comes out where I want it to be. And then once I'm happy with that, go back to View, turn off Face Style X-Ray, and now I can see, yep, it's where I want it to be. It's just too honking huge. So again, scale. And again, I'm going to have to turn on Face Style X-Ray because I can't see my handles. Now I can. So there, click the Option button to scale from the center and scale that down until it fits happily in between those two outer columns. Slide that over a little bit on the green axis. Sorry, on the red axis. And there, my friends, is my sign, more or less in place. I might fool around with it a little bit more, but it's pretty good. So that's how you would make a 3D sign and park it in there. You would, of course, add lots of materials and textures to it to make it a beautiful thing. I look forward to showing you more. If you find yourself stuck in the middle of something going, wait a minute, how'd you do that, old man? I'd be happy to make a video for you. See ya.